Right. So what I was saying is concerning the video, right, that I showed you. I think I got it right in the first try, even if I take a look. So this is, yeah. And this was the second or third try, I believe. Actually, there were more iterations, but I just wasn't happy with them. That was just too weird. And so I was happy with this one, which I believe was the second or third attempt. So it really didn't take me much to get it in a way that was acceptable within the time frame. And for that, I used the a big fan of Freepik, and they have an image to video generation, and I fed it here to generate video, or was it here somewhere? Let me see. Right, the history. Where was it? There you go. Yeah, so you got the blocks, as you can see now here. Oh yeah, there was another try here which looks horrible. Exceptionally fake, which I really didn't like. And so this is just texture, right? I created some textures based on the input that I had, and so it was nothing new. Look at this. This was horrible as well. And you can see that like it has no legs and the wings, so it might take you a while to play around with it and find something. But obviously, as I said, I had the material to feed it, so it wasn't new, it wasn't revolutionary. It was just a little animation basically of what I had already. So it's a little different, but still, if you have the images, then you can turn them into at least a kind of like a moving image, right, if you will. And then you can create some textures based on what you have already. And so, as I said, I'm no fan of, never use Gen AI. Too many issues around that. But if you're using your existing material to improve, to enhance the presence, then I'm all for it. But as you can see, this looks terribly fake, and so the line between fake and not fake and usable can be very thin. When it might take a couple tries to get it right. And also, obviously, there are other more advanced video generators out there. But because I use Freepik all the time, I just like it. They have great assets and resources. So it's probably my main source of assets and materials. So yeah, just work that was rather spontaneous. It wasn't planned, but I felt it was right for the use. And so if I go back to the theme, I added it as an autoplay element. I think there was a custom section that I had coded video with text. Yeah, I think so, but I'll get to that later. Okay, so once I had that down, and let me think what I did now. So documents, no, I don't know what that is. So the assets again. What did I do then? Oh yeah, then I created a little logo, and this logo was pretty simple and pretty straight to the point and all. Like I really didn't want anything complicated. Just a placeholder, basically, that at least it looked like it was created just on Canva, you know. So yeah, I think I had there was a mix of different icons that I smashed them together and got this output, and then I tried it out with the different brand colors. These are based again on the card, so that's what I stuck to. These three main colors, and then I messed around with fonts. I think that was crimson. Oh yeah, crimson text. And I drew two sources of inspiration to make this a little faster, or to make the process a little more seamless while leveraging assets that I already have. Let me show you. This is another initiative by me, which is not finished yet. So this is just a little excursion. That's called the perfect product page. It has nothing to do with the ColibriMemories, but the perfect product page is an initiative I was working on, still working on, but I had to pause it. Oh, hold on, I'm not ready to show this. No, where was it? There was something else. There you go. So the perfect product page, and that is basically a canvas I am working on that combines, that does the best combination between form and function. So it's basically where you get a perfect mix of design and conversion rate optimization, and it's based on different geometric theories and conversion rate optimization theories, social proofing, and like the like how the images are built, and what type of order and hierarchy does this page have. And it also has a video. I'm still working on it. I had to pause it for a second, but I'll get back to it soon. And so this is like the current status based on this brand, on the Few brand, which was very fortunate to create. That's something entirely separate, but this is as a case study. Basically, I've used it on the perfect product page. And as you can see on this product page, I was already using the Crimson text font, which I'm a big fan of. And my first thought was indeed to create that more complex product page or website for ColibriMemories. And then my thought was I was going to base it on the perfect product page that I'm working on, right? So as a mode, I would use it as a canvas, and then I would adapt it to ColibriMemories. And that's where I got the font from, the Crimson text font, and I just felt like it fit. And so, as you can see here, this is just where I started to prototype with a combination of both, and you can see the blots here that I was talking about. So this was going to be the beginning of the custom custom shop page. And as you can see, I got to a point where I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have to redo so much, and I'm going to have to design everything. It's going to take me months, as it does, right, to get everything right. But yeah, as you can see here, I was using it as a backdrop, and then here there was going to be the product page, the product section. But halfway through all this, I was like, oh my god, no. I'm gonna do it on Shopify just to streamline the process for now and use the existing materials so I don't have to spend months on it, and I can actually launch a little faster because I have other projects and client projects that are paid projects, obviously. So this is, yeah. Okay, so once I got to that, once I got to this point, basically, I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch it around, I'm gonna move it to Shopify, and I'm gonna use some of the existing assets. So there was the moment I had made the decision, and there was basically 2 or 3 hours in the entire journey. And so I abandoned the custom page, right? And then I started shifting my focus to Shopify and building on there. Okay, but before we get there, let me go back to the, and so I drew the Crimson text font for that because I love Crimson text. It's beautiful. And I just felt like for this project, I was going to go with a serif and a sans serif combination. I like to keep it down to 2 fonts, sometimes one, just one, and be like winged, basically as a designer. But in this case, I felt a serif font would pair nicely with a sans serif font, and that's where I decided to use Crimson text, but then I abandoned it afterwards. We'll get to that. Concerning the logo, just to finalize this topic, so yeah, it was, I can't remember where it came from. I think I researched some hummingbird icons and some nature, and then I just started to draw it around one of those, and I really streamlined this. It was like it took me 20 minutes maybe. I just wanted to keep it simple and focus on the creative process itself and the output rather than just the individual elements. But yeah. Okay, so that was the logo prototype process with the colors at the same time. Yep, so let me go back. Let's see. So we have the logo. Then I think from there I started prototyping on the website. Let me see. About this here, what was that? Oh yeah, that was something else. So yeah, that's basically it in terms of prepared assets that I was going to use. So I think from this point we can get to the website. So that was it. That was basically it. No more than that. So yeah, so let's hop onto the website, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. Okay, so website Shopify. So yeah, Shopify is my most common project, I would say. I do shop projects, also them on Shopify, and what I also thought was I don't want to spend $400 in a premium theme and take so much time to customize the entire theme just like the way I wanted it. So there was a pitfall that I was wary of, same as with the completely individual product page. I made a decision to be more efficient and to simplify and break it down in this case, but I think it still turned out good. So once again, leveraging an asset that I was already using, I'm going to show you guys what I did. So basically, Shopify introduced their new architecture for new themes and how they work and how you build. And basically, like in a nutshell, you have more design possibilities, but at the same time, it's also quite confusing and kind of like shoots past the target group of Shopify because it made it much more complicated than it usually has to be for store owners or like startups that just don't need that yet, and so I can show you how it looks like if I use, or actually if I go to, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did here. Yeah, I think that was that one. Okay. So before I get to the background, so let me show you the new versus the old Shopify architecture of this store. I'm gonna tell you about the store as well. So here basically you have those are the new free themes by Shopify. You have the Atelier, Heritage, Saver, and you can click any of those and you can get into it and you're gonna see what I'm talking about if you ever work with Shopify. So now if you go to the heading, you have different layout options and you have max widths and you have padding options. All of those you didn't have before, or you did, but it was much more limited. You can even AI generate some stuff here, which works terribly. But yeah, that's another that's another story. In general, what I wanted you to see was that on Shopify now, if you go to the content, if you choose any of the options on the left, take a look at the right side, then you're gonna see it looks a hell of a lot much more like Figma now, so you can see different sizes and fits and appearances and paddings, etc. And that was stuff you had to do via custom code in a lot of instances in the old architecture. At least on free themes like premium themes, they have many more options. But basically, what happened now is you just get more design options, which is okay, which is nice. But as I said, Shopify was not made for that. Shopify was actually made to be much more streamlined and to offer much more in terms of e-commerce than design. For proper design, you do have the custom code and you have to actually create proper designs before you start implementing them on Shopify. But yeah, basically for me, it gave me more options. But as I said, it is overwhelming for people who've never done this before, and you're like, what the hell is this and this and this? Now you have even more choices, which is like the paradox of too many choices sometimes, right? And now you don't know what you're gonna do and why you're gonna do it. That's even more important. Like the why. Why should it be centered? Why should it be to the right? Why should it be horizontal, vertical, etc.? So as you can see here, right, this is now kind of like a flex pose. Then you can set it to vertical, to left, to center, right, etc. So these are things you didn't have before in the free themes. Okay. So this just as a little digression. Okay. And what I did here in order to streamline that as well. So I avoided investing in a premium theme because I didn't find it necessary, because I thought it was going to take too much time, weeks maybe, to get it up and running. And secondly, I didn't want to use the basic free theme, which is like the Dawn theme or one of those new Shopify themes from the get-go because there's also a lot to customize and to work on. And yeah, so I was thinking, what could I do here? And then the answer struck me, and that was very convenient, I must say, as well, at the same time. I have these Australian clients, and together with my with my colleague, we've developed a custom theme for them in the last month or so, which was based on one of the free themes here. We based it on the new pitch theme, which is not listed here, but let me just show you quickly. Wow, Shopify has now 900 themes. See, once again, paradox of choice. This rush, I haven't seen this before. Let me check it out. So, pitch. So I messed around with the other new themes because they were also new to me. This was a very recent update for Shopify. Like, also my first time working with it, there was this project with the Australian clients. So you have the Horizon Saver. I tried them all out, and Horizon was so limited, and it made me go insane in terms of just changing some details. But I settled on the pitch theme, which is also one of the new free themes. I'll show you in a second. Let me just check this out for 1 second. Have I used this before? What is this? Okay. Yeah, okay. Whatever. So, so we've been working on this project, right, for the last month or so. And we, as you can see here, that was the 2nd of June. So that was, over a month now, where we were tasked with creating a custom theme based on a free theme. So to turn it into a premium theme from one of those free new themes on the new Shopify architecture. And pitch was my starting point for design. And so we built everything on top of the pitch theme. I'm going to show you how it looks like in the original version, right? That's more or less with some sample products here. You get the product page. As you can see, it's like, it's something, right? It's something. And then we went ahead and we created a copy that was, should be that one, yeah. And then we created a copy with all the necessary elements that our clients wanted, but with pre-designed sections, basically, where you only had to insert change the styling, basically. And as you can see, we still have like placeholders and questions here. And so it's pre-made, basically. So if you could take a look at the product page, there you go. So we were tasked with adding some of these elements were requirements, and we created the custom theme based around that. And as you can see, it's a unique theme, and you're not gonna find it in this manner anywhere else. And then we gave it a second version, which was oriented around the impact theme, and so it's much more subtle. And as you can see here, for example, it's much more neutral. So that was the number 2. So this is basically a pre-made custom theme, where we pre-created components and sections to be reused as a theme. And so I thought, this is my first use case for Colibri, right? I can take our custom theme. Well, just to be transparent here, I didn't take the exact theme. Of course, I had to make lots of modifications, but as a canvas, as a starting point, I took that. I took our newly made custom theme based on the new Shopify architecture, and then I started customizing shit. Okay, so I took it as a canvas, and then I started using my experience and my ideas to create the theme based on that canvas. And so, that was like the starting point. And I think I'm gonna stop here for part 2. And then on part 3, I'm finally gonna show you how I built the theme, why I built it this way, and maybe we can even get some cathartic moments. And I'll tell you about how the rest of the story goes. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.